To your party?
Janice, I cannot stop this car. I have a curfew.
You know I can invite you. I have to pretend to be plastic. Buddy, you're not pretending anymore. You're plastic. Cold, shiny, hard plastic.
Curfew, 1 a.m. It's now 1:10.
Did you have an awesome time? Did you drink awesome shooters and listen to awesome music and then just sit around and soak up each other's awesomeness? You know what? You're the one who made me like this, so you can use me for your 8th grade revenge. God, see, at least me and Regina George know we're mean. You try to act like you're so innocent. Like, oh, I used to live in Africa with all the little piggies and the little monkeys. You know what? It's not my fault you're like in love with me or something. What?
Oh, no, she did not.
See, that's the thing with you, plastic. You think that everybody is in love with you when actually...
Oh, that's right, with you plastics. Woo! I hope I just blew in with the wind. I hope Mean Girls was keeping you occupied while I was blowing in from the wind. It is cold out there. Oh boy, did you have an awesome time with your awesome friends, drinking your awesome shooters? It's my favorite scene from Mean Girls. So we're going to talk Mean Girls today, because I'm sure you've heard there is a new Mean Girls. The Mean Girls are back, and they're hitting the movie theaters coming this Friday night. And Mean Girls is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I'm always very hesitant when you try to have a sequel or go back to that drawing board of something that was almost perfection. I don't like, you can't make something better. right? It's like you can't go to the Sistine Chapel and paint over it. You know what? You missed the spot. Michelangelo missed the loop. I can fix this. Make it the Sistine Chapel again. Part 2. It doesn't work like that. You don't mess with perfection. And I've opened the show comparing Michelangelo's Sistine Chapels to Mean Girls. Yes, that's what I do here. I'm a historian buff. You know that. Anyway, welcome to the Steve Squared Show, in case you didn't know. Oh, it's a brisk one out there. Ooh, it's cold. As you know, I'm remote from a secluded location. We're excited. We're going to caucus you guys today. Caucus is the new word of the day. I love that word. Caucus. We're having a caucus. 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 And of course, many of you know that there's something called a caucus, and I'm not really sure what that is. No, I don't really know. Trust me, I don't know what the caucus is.
Yes!
Anyway, it's something to do with the some kind of voting and elections, and they're doing it in the deep freeze of Iowa. Oh, you think this is cold? It is so cold out there, man. They said it's like a wind chill, which, by the way, for those of you playing at home, is how a temperature feels. It's not the actual temperature, but what it feels like, because the actual is really inconsequential when you're freezing to death. They should have told those guys in the Andes Mountains, what are you freezing in the crash? It's only 12 degrees, but it feels like minus 130. And that's why they had to eat each other. But that's another story for a different show. Although, maybe we'll talk about that later. I might mention that because I did see that movie as well. I got so much to pack into an hour that we're going to extend tonight's... We're making tonight the Steve Squared Caucus Show. We're going to go as long as they are caucusing. So we'll probably end around midnight. So settle in, grab your hot cocoa. We're going to be on all night. Because I'm not going outside. It's too cold. I hope 1 Celsius can get me through the show. Oh boy. I think it's time that I threw my nice wool hat. Did you see this hat I'm wearing? Can you see it says Nueva York, New York. I got this as a Christmas gift. Very excited. My scarf was also a Christmas gift. And as you know, I'm a Minnie Pearl person, and for those of you who don't know who Minnie Pearl is, look her up, Google her, YouTube her. She would go, howdy, and she'd wear all the hats with all the tags on them. And as Steve has said to you many times, I leave tags on things because I have a propensity to return them to the store. But not this. This is a gift. I don't do that with gifts. I just didn't get a chance to take the tag off. I like the way this hat feels. It really hugs the head. I'm very particular with my hats. So we have a lot to uncover. We might have a special call-in. Who knows? We don't know. I got a lot of things going on today. Of course, there would not be a remote show without our friend Kermit. Kermit's really enjoying the show today. And we're going to put Kermit over here for a moment. And not only do I have Kermit with me today, but I have a new guest co-host today. Since Steve is indisposed, literally, he is, trust me, in major disposal. We have a guest tonight. Our first guest of the show is... Hey, thanks for stopping by. Let me give you a proper introduction. All right? Okay. So don't be nervous. I know this is your first time. What am I nervous about? No, don't be nervous. I'm telling you. Trust me. This is gonna be fun. Okay, if you say so, Steve. That's good. So this is Count Squarula. Count Squarula. Oh, I get it. That's like the Steve Squared show with the Squarula. That's right. That's Count Squarula. Oh, okay, very good. Well, that's very good. Now, when do I talk and when do you talk? Well, if you notice, so what I'm trying to do is I'm practicing being a ventriloquist. I watched Jeff Dunham this weekend. I don't know if for those of you who know Jeff, I know Jeff Dunham. He's very good. Yes, Jeff Dunham is a ventriloquist. And again, I don't know the level of education of my audience. I'm not really sure. So, let me explain what a ventriloquist does. You get comfortable, don't you? Okay. Don't touch the keys, okay? Okay. It's your show. I'm just here for the guest. Okay. Anyway. So, Jeff Dunham is a wonderful ventriloquist. Look him up, YouTube him. He has a lot of these great characters. He carves his own puppets, okay? And they're amazing. And two of my favorites are Ahmed, the dead terrorist, and Walter, who's this old, curmudgeon-y, crabby old man. And you have to YouTube Jeff Dunham. Ventriloquism is such a dated thing. It's a thing they used to do back in the day. But it's very funny. And he is really good. He's obviously, the comedy goes with the ventriloquist, and he's so good. And there's a couple of, I talked about it on previous shows, and America's Got Talent. There was this young girl. She was amazing. She sang and was so good. I do a little singing. We're not going to sing tonight. No, let me throw my hand at the little square, you know. I don't think so. Okay. Anyway. So, it's very hard to be a ventriloquist because you have to change your voice and talk without moving your lips. That's the whole idea. Which is very difficult. It's not easy. So, anyway. That is my first thing. I want you to look up Jeff Dunham. Very, very funny. He is so really good.
Yes!
That's true. Excuse me. Anyway, so I hope you're having a good weekend. It is really cold out there. We've been really lucky with the weather, right? I mean, we have dodged it for over a year now. We have really had no snowfall, no anything. And it's getting chilly out there, and I'm hoping that we get through this week, because next week it goes back into the 40s, so don't worry. It's not that cold in Transylvania. I don't know the weather there, but I know the weather here on Long Island, and it is frigid. It's a great time to have soup, hot cocoa, things like that. Get some nice warm in your body. I will probably be getting a soup after the show. You know my favorite, the minestrone. So I like the tomato soup. You know why? Why do you like tomato soup? Because it's red like the blood. You know what? You're getting a timeout. No. Anyway, we'll get back to Count Square a little later. You know, when I started reaching for ventriloquist humor, I've hit rock bottom. I've completely hit rock bottom. It means I didn't prepare for the show and I went into the closet and got it. No, I use things to make a point, and my point is Jeff Dunham's great. So Mean Girls, let's talk some Mean Girls. They're coming out with a second Mean Girls. It's not a second. It's a reboot of a new cast of Mean Girls. Now, I have a problem with this. I love the original cast. We all know the original cast. Of course, Lindsay Lohan plays Katie. Amanda Seyfried, Lacey Chabert, and of course Rachel McAdams plays the mean Regina. And they were just so good. And I don't feel like this is a new... I don't know any of these actors. Do I even have the list of their names? Let me see where. Hold on a momento. Here they are. Christina Alvaro, Renee Rapp, Kate Rockwell, and Erica Henningsen. Don't know any of these people. So they'll be in the new Mean Girls, and I just don't know. Bebe Wood is in it. I don't know who these people are. Anyway, so we'll see. I mean, it opens Friday. actually, the premiere, Lindsay Lohan attended the premiere in New York, and she said it was okay. It didn't get great reviews because, again, you're holding a high standard. This is why you create original material. This is the problem. They can't find new things. They just have to keep resurfacing the same thing over and over again, and it's not creative. I don't know why you have to do that. And it's lightning in a bottle of those movies that become forever movies. Okay, Mean Girls is, I think it was back in 2004 already. So you're looking at 20 years that this movie has resonated. Now it's a whole new generation of people that love Mean Girls. And the terms, fetch, awesomeness, and all of the things, it's kind of like trying to do Clueless. We all loved with Alicia Silverstone. We loved Clueless. It had a whole terminology and fashion that actually hit a whole culture. So these cultural movies that really have an impact on society about the way kids talk and go to school, and they're big. I just don't. I think when you try to do it again, it just loses it. You're just waiting for the line that you know already. Nothing's surprising. We love to be surprised, and when you're just resurfacing stuff, it's just not going to work. I mean, sorry. What are you going to do? Jaws all over again? 2024 Jaws? Like, we get it. It's a shark. Come on. It's not funny. Not that the shark was funny. So, I'm not sure about that. I'm just not sure. What does this say about it? I mean, they're saying that this movie, which is released, is expected to make $27 million domestically, $80 million globally on the first weekend. It says, they're trying to pitch it as, it's a story that's really relatable to teenagers. So they'll just watch the other one. They're not going to watch this new crap. And the way they're doing 2024 movies or 2023 is just ridiculous. Anyway. Speaking of another thing they're rebooting, Ted 1 and Ted 2, Seth MacFarlane's, Mark Wahlberg, Ted, his best friend, the teddy bear, for those of you who don't know Ted. So what he's coming out with is a series now, a prequel of Ted, where John Bennett, who plays, who's given the teddy bear when he's a little boy, now they're going to have it set in high school. So instead of it being set as Mark Wahlberg's a 30-year-old guy still with this teddy bear, he's going to be in high school and he's a teenager, and it's kind of, I think it's a TV series or something like that. Again, they're just trying to cash in on the success. And will it be funny? It might be. At least it's a little different. But I don't have high hopes for that either. Anyway, so that's all I got to say about that. But anyway, I am enjoying my new book, which I have not read yet. I have not gotten a chance to read it, but I got my hands on. This is why it pays to know people in the library business, because this book was on reserve, out of stock, off the shelves, whatever terminology they use. That's what I got. You see? My sister got me the book, Being Henry, the Henry Winkler book. And it's The Fonz and Beyond. And I'll tell you, Henry Winkler, I love Henry Winkler. He's a very accomplished actor. He's trained in, I think, Yale or one of the very fine art schools. Really, and he's just, when you want to interview, he just doesn't come across as pretentious or this Hollywood type. He's just such a likable guy, whether it's accurate or not, but it's just, I don't see anybody that doesn't like him. He's funny. He takes cameos in all these movies, in Night Shift, in Scream, he was in all of them. And he's always funny. He's obviously was nominated in Barry, the HBO series Barry, which was very good. And so he's done well for himself, and of course he'll have forever character of Fonzie, which my mom reminded me that I had and I think I've said this before, I had a Fonzie pinball machine. And man, that was fantastic. You talk about that. It was a Happy Days pinball machine. I think it was a Fonzie or a Happy Days pinball machine. It was really cool. And I wish I still had it. I don't know how much it would be worth, but it was fun to play. I used to like pinball. I don't know. I've never been to an arcade or something. Did you ever play pinball or something like that? I like those old retro games. Anyway, this is the Fonz and Beyond. So you can't get it. It's very hard to get. You have to know somebody in the library biz. I happen to know. I have connections. So if you want to reach out to me on the Steve Squared Instagram, Stephen R. Kaminsky, give me a shout out. Maybe I'll, or maybe, I can just read it on the air. Being Henry, page 1. This is when you really know I have nothing prepared for the show. Being Henry, The Fonz and Beyond, by Henry Winkler. I'll leave you wanting more. Always leave them wanting more. Oh my gosh. It's a caucus! It's a caucus! I wonder who's winning the caucus. And I'll tell you what. So, I don't know what this voting or whoever wins the caucus has any bearing on anything. I really don't. I don't understand it. I tried to Wikipedia caucus last night, and I read 2 pages and still don't understand what it means. What I gather is a bunch of Midwesterners, and I'll leave you the rest to your imagination, because I'm a big fan of the Midwest. People love me in the Midwest. This show is huge in the Plain States. Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas. When they can't go outside, they're freezing to death. Maybe there's a cyclone. You don't know. They have the weather that they have in the Central Plains in the Midwest. It's like if it was another planet. So I don't want to disparage or cast any affinities on our central states of America. Let me just say this, that these people, with their Land's End button-down shirts and their Levi jeans, which I have a pair, Wrangler jeans probably, they wear it, and they're sitting around coffee shops talking politics, and they will risk life and limb to go to whatever town hall where there's probably serving some corn stalk and apple cider, and they're going to vote for one of these schnooks. I wouldn't go out if it was 78 degrees and a beautiful palm tree summer day. Light wind, smell of the ocean air. I wouldn't step a toe out and vote for these people, let alone go out in minus 30 degree weather to give one of these schnooks, is the best word I can find. And as a writer, you would think I could do better than that. Schnooks is who these people are.
Yes! In your face!
Schnooks is who these people are. There's nothing better than that. And vote! And go in there and vote and feel good because they went to the caucus, and see cameras there because I guess this starts off the nonsense of electing, and then they go to New Hampshire, and they go to all these stupid, ridiculous states that nobody cares about, other than this time of year. This is the only time of year. See, we're very spoiled here in New York, California, all you big states. We're very spoiled because we get non-stop attention. Put yourself in Iowa. Put yourself in New Hampshire. When was the last time, other than this stupid, the word caucus, have you ever heard of these states? I mean, I'm surprised the candidate found them. I guess with a GPS and a plane, they were able to somehow get to Iowa and attend these caucuses and ask these Midwesterners for their vote. And I love how they try to feel like they're one of them. I'm one of you. I love pig's knuckles on, smothered in, Alabama sweet sauce. He's like trying to eat the food there, That's something I couldn't do either. That's why I could never run for anything. Because I can't go to these places and assimilate. I don't want to eat pig's feet on rye. I don't want to go to Alabama and eat chicken fried, eel sweet potato steak. I don't want to eat these foods. I like grilled chicken, I like salad, I like minestrone soup. So if a state has that as their motto, I will go there and campaign. Short of that, I'm not going to these places. But I guess you'll know, so I don't know how any of this means. I really don't discuss politics on the show, other than calling these people schnooks. And that goes for all of them. So it's not like, I don't like this candidate, but they're all schnooks. Doesn't matter. You know who takes care of you? Not these politicians. You have to take care of yourself. You are the one that has to brave the cold. You're the one that has to find a job. And you're the one that has to find friends, get married, get divorced, do whatever you're going to do. Are they there when you're going through trouble? I mean, can you call up one of these politicians and say, you know what, little Johnny needs braces. What should I do? I have a pain in my stomach. Can you come over and help me? I mean, where are they then? That's when I need them. I don't need them now. I need them when I'm in times of turmoil, strife. Whatever. I'm sorry to go off on such a tangent. Anyway. So, I'll tell you another thing. Boy, they're really going crazy on these award shows. They had I think there's hold on a minute. Let me check. I think there's another award. They had the Golden Globes like 2 weeks ago. Then they had the Critics' Choice Awards last night, which when you're on Channel 11, the CW, let's be honest, you're that's very third tier. That's like sitting in the upper decks at Madison Square Garden. Speaking of which, what an awful Knicks showing today. I mean, just embarrassing. On Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, by the way. Big shout out to ML King Jr. It's Martin Luther King, so we always like to recognize when it's a special day. Except if you're the Knicks, who seem to not understand or care that it's probably better that they win at Madison Square Garden. A lot of festivities. It's a tradition to have a home game in New York at Madison Square Garden, and it's a better tradition to actually win the game. When there's all the pomp and circumstance and a lot of talking about, the specialty of the day, cap it off with a win, not blowing a 10-point lead with 2 minutes left. And I'll tell you, I knew they were going to do that because their best player was wearing a lovely Calvin Klein jean jacket, which is never a good sign. It usually means they're not playing and they're sitting on the bench for some unknown injury. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Jalen Brunson, but when your best player is not on the court or playing, you don't have a good chance. It's like, let me give you an analogy. Let's say I'm doing the Steve Square show and I'm not here. That's a problem. Let's say it's just, the other Steve, or just Steve, Tony, or something like that. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna finish strong. I'm the glue. I tie it all together. I'm the rope, the glue, the cement, the mixer that puts it all together. I'm the blender. Okay? Steve is an ingredient. Tony is an ingredient. Okay? I put all the ingredients together and I mix it into the pot. That's what I do. So, the Knicks lost on Martin Luther King Day. How dare they? I think, are the Emmys tonight? I think they are. What? Wait, what? How to watch awards tonight? Yeah, it's on tonight. The Emmys are on tonight on USA. This is ridiculous. So I don't understand. Can they not give themselves enough awards? I mean, the Golden Globes, the critics were now. What do they got? drive over to this other. Where is this nonsense? And I never even heard. Oh wait, let me go back for a second. Who's hosting the Emmy Awards? Anthony Anderson, with help from his showbiz-friendly mom. Oh boy, on Fox? It just said it was on USA. This is terrible. This is terrible. Monday night, yeah, this is Emmys. Oh, this sucks. I just can't take it anymore. I'm so disgusted. It's enough with these people. Oh, big shout out. Well, I'll tell you, maybe one of our mysterious surprise guest callers might speak more on this. But the final honeymooner, the final cast member of the legendary sitcom The Honeymooners has passed away the other day. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Joyce Randolph, better known as Trixie, the wife of Ed Norton, played by Art Carney. She has passed away at the age of 99 years old. She would say her favorite episodes were the ones where she had more than 6 lines to say. It's funny how she was cast. Jackie Gleason actually saw her doing a Clorox commercial. She would do work for, the Cavalcade of Stars, and when they had these kind of showcases back in for NBC and for these stations, and he saw her doing a commercial for Clorox, and I'm not sure what Clorox are. I don't know if they were. I want to think they're those mini things, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. Anyway, he cast her, and when they did the first kind of sketch comedies of this honeymoon show, it wasn't the Honeymooners yet. And actually, funny enough, she had done some work, some summer stock work with Audrey Meadows, who played Ralph's wife, Alice. They both did, they were in some musicals together, No No Nanette, which, if you know your theater history, was one of the biggest failures in theater history. Not because of them two, they are fantastic. Actually, No No Nanette was actually in, the little trivia for you, the play No No Nanette was being financed by the Boston Red Sox owner. He couldn't make pay on the failing show. He needed quick cash. So what does he do? He sells Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees. Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees to fund this horrible show and get it going longer. He needed some quick cash. Gives Babe Ruth to the Yankees. You know the rest. Babe Ruth becomes Babe Ruth. The Yankees become the Yankees. And nobody's ever heard of No No Nanette until right now when I mentioned it. Bad decision. Terrible decision. But life is filled with terrible decisions. That's the way life is. That's how it goes. I was a little disappointed. I was waiting to see this movie, Naiad, the story of Diane Naiad, who was an Olympic swimmer, a marathon swimmer, back in the 70s or whatever, 80s, I don't know, 70s, I think. Played by Annette Bening, who I like Annette Bening. We're getting a call. Perfect. I'll hit back on this in a moment. Let's see who's calling the Steve Square Show. Welcome to the Steve Square Show. Who is this?
Hey, Steve. Jeff, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
What's going on?
Not much. Great to hear from you. We have Jeff on the line. Jeff, now, tell me you're calling from some balmy, beautiful island in the Caribbean and not from the frigid tundra of what we call Long Island.
Yeah, no, that's not fair. Sorry.
All right, so Jeff is not in the Caribbean island as I had hoped. He is calling from the beautiful island of Copiague.
Absolutely.
Better known as Suffolk County. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, same old. How's it been? It's been a while.
I know. I'm glad you called in. I know Monday night sometimes you go to the Monday night mystery movie, and you've not been happy over the last few weeks with the choices.
Oh my God. I told you about the last one already. It was awful.
Awful. What was the last movie called you saw?
I don't remember the name of it. It was so god awful.
That's a good movie. When you don't know, when you don't remember the name.
Look, tickets are usually $5 for Monday Mystery. This time it was $1 a ticket. I should have seen the red flag.
$1 a ticket. They were shut.
It was just a horrible, awful, stupid slasher movie. It made no damn sense. I walked out of there in less than 20 minutes.
Wow.
Couldn't take it.
Couldn't take it. Now, I like that you walked out of a movie. I was going to ask you, if a movie is bad, would you walk out of it, or do you try to sit through it?
If I think it might have a chance of getting better, I'll sit through it.
That's how I feel about a first date. if I feel like that's a chance of getting better, I won't just get up and leave.
Yeah. This one had no chance at all.
No chance. Okay. Well, that happens. Speaking of dates, I'm getting ready for this Saturday night. My nephew's getting married.
Oh, nice. Congratulations to your nephew.
I will tell him. It's the big wedding. It's so funny the way things happen. We knew about this wedding, obviously, a long time ago, and we were like, oh, it's in January of 2024, and you're thinking, that's never going to come. That's so far away, and then here it is. So,
Yep.
time, unfortunately, just continues to move.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I don't like that, but I definitely don't like this weather. How are we making out in the cold?
I hate cold weather. I just can't stomach it.
I hate cold weather, and what I hate more are people that like cold weather.
I don't get it.
I hate when people come up to me and, oh, I love it. It's so invigorating. Meanwhile, my knuckles are bleeding from the raw cold. My skin is burning.
It's terrible. I can't stand freezing cold weather. I can't.
I can't. I feel like it affects your mood. It affects your energy level. And, the spring and summer just, you just feel hope. You feel you can go out in a t-shirt. And you can pump gas in your car without your hand being frozen to the nozzle.
Yeah, really.
But
Absolutely.
so are you excited about the caucus?
The what?
The caucus. Today's the Iowa caucus.
Oh, politics. Yeah, I couldn't care less.
I love that word caucus. I can't say it enough. It's a caucus. They're not voting. It's a caucus. I'm not sure what a caucus means. I thought that was a rare flamingo-type bird that flew in the South African wilderness in the rainforest. The striped caucus.
You say caucus, I think of the stuff I use to seal my windows.
Yeah, exactly. Some kind of filament or stucco glue for a caucus. I filled my crack in the window with caucus. And let me tell you something, and I like to ask Jeff, because Jeff thinks like I do. It's in Iowa right now where this fiasco is happening. They said the wind chill is below 35 degrees zero. It says you cannot drive on the roads. You can't even find the roads. Would you go out and risk life to vote for one of these people?
Yeah, I'll vote for home, thank you.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe that these people are going out in this weather to vote.
Just do a mail-in ballot so we don't get it.
No, you're not. There is no mail-in for this. This is a caucus, Jeff. It's a caucus.
It's a caucus.
Don't you know the caucus rules?
Alright.
There's no mail-in. You have to go in on a sled and to the caucus and cast your stupid vote.
Yeah, that's insane.
Not doing it. Anyway, I was just screaming about how I was upset that they're doing another Mean Girls movie comes out Friday night.
Oh my God, why?
And I don't know. I know it's corny and it's a kid movie, a teenage movie, but I liked the original Mean Girls. I thought it was funny, and it was good. Why do they need to keep doing this with movies? Are they that lacking of material or creativity?
Yeah, clearly.
I mean, that's like saying, well, Close Encounters did great. Why don't we do it again?
Yeah, Hollywood's running out of ideas.
You know what would make a really good movie, Jeff? A kid that found an alien that liked Reese's Pieces, and he couldn't find his way home. Why don't we do that again?
E.T. The Return.
No, just call it E.T. Why you want it? It doesn't do anything. Nobody cares.
Doesn't need a subtitle.
Exactly. Same title. Who cares? I think that would work. What do you think?
Let's remake everything.
Remake everything. Why make things new when old is so much better? Unless you age. When you age, it's not better. But other than that, it's always better. And of course, for these wonderful Hollywood people, they're giving themselves more awards tonight at the Emmys.
Oh, the Emmys tonight?
So the Critics' Choice was last night, which I don't understand what that is, and nobody does because that's why it was on Channel 11.
Yeah.
When you put it on an obscure channel, like it was on the Telemundo channel, then you know it's not a big time award. But tonight is either on, I think the Emmys are on USA, possibly, or something like that. Don't quote me, I don't know. And Anthony Anderson is hosting with his mom.
Oh.
You know Anthony Anderson, he's that, he hosts that game show, he's that comedian.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, you know, he's whatever. He hosts some game show. So anyway, he's going to be hosting this nonsense. I watched the Golden Globes, and then I looked a little at the, I don't know any of these shows. Let me see here. I have a thing here. Hold on.
The Emmys are on Fox.
The Emmys are on Fox. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff is good for that stuff. Let me see here. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to look. Hey, my mom might be interested in this. There's a memoir coming out of Lisa Marie Presley.
Why?
Not really sure, but she apparently was doing this when she passed away. So they finished it, or somehow it was finished. Yes, so it's on Fox. You're right. I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing. Looks like they're doing a little thing to Norman Lear.
Oh, that's right. Norman Lear passed away.
Right, and it says Cheers will represent the 80s, Ally McBeal and Martin will represent the 90s. So they're having shows that represent different decades. The Sopranos will show up for the 2000s, and Grey's Anatomy and American Horror Story will be represented.
Wait a minute, who's representing the 90s?
That would be Martin and Ally McBeal.
No, oh, come on.
Come on, Jeff, don't be like that.
Where's the X-Files?
And the 50s that will be represented by, who do you think the 50s will be represented by?
Who?
I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy, okay.
The Cabaret Show will be then representing, I guess, the 70s. Oh, no, it says the 60s, but that can't be right. It says All in the Family will be the 70s, and Cabaret, okay, and Cabaret, normally. So, you know, I guess that's a little something good that they're doing, but I just can't, these people giving themselves awards nonstop is just, it's just annoying.
Hollywood has to pat themselves in the back.
For what? They're suck.
They're doing nothing original.
That's what I'm saying. What are they doing? I don't even know any of these shows. Hold on, I'm trying to find some of these shows, and I don't. Hold on a second.
I haven't watched the Emmys in a long time. Is this for just network shows, or do they include streaming?
Streaming, of course. They can't just do network. Jeff, I don't know if are you watching the show right now?
No.
Don't embarrass yourself by saying you are. I know you're not. Nobody's watching the show, not even Jeff. I didn't know if you saw my co-host today who's back, Count Squarula. I was doing a bit of a ventriloquism. What do you think about that?
Gotta love it.
So, Count Squarula, I was doing this because, have you ever saw or seen Jeff Dunham do his characters? You must have.
Yeah.
He's very good, right?
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was watching him this weekend, and he was just funny. You know, he was doing Walter and Ahmed, the dead terrorist. And, yeah, and I was seeing if he was coming around the New York area, but these people don't come around New York. Like Sebastian Maniscalco, or they just don't do the New York thing. I wonder why.
They're too big for New York.
They're too big for New York? Okay.
Can you imagine?
I'm too big for New York.
Yeah, really. What are you still doing?
Well, I enjoy the frigid weather. You know I enjoy cold weather. This is interesting to me. The back page of the New York Newsday, local Long Island paper, has a big thing of the Texans. Like, I know it's football and everybody loves football. You're a big football guy. And there's obviously no local teams to talk about. But that's what you put on the back of the Newsday is the Texans win? The Houston Texans? Who cares?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I know it's football, I get it, but it's still it's like blasted on the back page. It's not like, like it's some huge news. Like, does any Long Islander care about the Houston Texans?
No. They should have had the Detroit Lions on the back page. Now, that was a story.
Now, that's a little bit more of a story. That's a good feel story. What did they beat, the Rams?
They beat the Rams. First playoff win in 32 years.
I know, that was amazing. There were fans crying. Now, come on.
Hey,
Get a hold of yourself. What?
People love their football.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
They had their former quarterback in the building with the Rams. It was a whole thing.
No, I know it was a whole thing. I get it. I like the connection. I think it was great. I'm trying to see, and I don't know why I don't have it readily available. It just shows my lack of professionalism and my inability to prepare for a show.
Preparation, Steve. Come on.
It's terrible. I'm the first to admit it.
You see what happens when Steve's not there with you?
Yeah, the show was so much better. I already blasted. You missed that train. I already blasted Steve for not being here.
Oh my God.
No, I don't. I was going to try to name some of these shows that
Well, Succession must be one of them.
Succession is definitely one. White Lotus is definitely one. All these big shows. This is interesting. They're showing fencing on Long Island. Did you know that fencing is big on Long Island?
Fencing?
Yeah, and I'm not talking about hawking stolen merchandise. I'm referring to actual swords. Or what do they call them? What do they call them? Sabers? I don't know.
Is everything go way like the Middle Ages?
No, they're bringing it back, and apparently this is it says here, Manhasset's Edward Hong records a touch against Jerry Lynn. To me, it would seem very insurance problematic for a high school to be having two 17-year-olds stab each other for sport.
So they call it a touch, not a stab, right?
It's a touch, not a stab. It's not Three Musketeer stuff here. It's definitely just a touch. I get it. It's safe. I'll tell you what's not safe, and let me go on a rant here. I turn on ESPN the other day. Me and my dad are watching this. I think my mom was too. And they have on ESPN, they have the rodeo on. Now, this is ridiculous. So, what they're doing is they have, and they're showing the little baby calves or steer. They come out of the chute, and the guy the idiot Marlboro man on the horse is, with the lasso, and he, throws it around the baby calf. Good for you. You're really, what a challenge. He throws this rope. He throws the calf on its back, slams it, and ties its hoofs together. It's terrible. So of course I just look at this and I say, are you serious? And in today's day and age of like being a little more sensitive to things, obviously the calves and those people, those animals are not part of the new world of sensitivity because we still don't care about them or animals, I guess, unless Sarah McLachlan's singing a song about where the dogs are getting help. Other than that, apparently nobody else needs their help. So these poor calves, I read up about them, and they get broken backs, broken bones. They are just treated horrifically. They are, and if they live through one of these stupid rodeos, they are allowed to be thrown in a cart, no water, no food for over 24 hours, and shipped to the next event. Where if they live, it's terrible. And if they don't serve the purpose anymore, I can tell you they are not put in a nice rehab facility. they're not looking to get stronger and better. They're not taken care of. They're not working with a physical therapist. You know what they're working with? McDonald's.
Where the hell is Peter?
Well, Peter's big on this, but let's be honest. When things are monetarily affected, you can have all the people screaming, and they're still looked at as freaks that have no power.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? It's still an organization, and yes, they have become very big, but they're not going to change. When there's heavy money involved in these places, sorry, Charlie.
Damn, they still do that.
If you watched it, you'd be horrified. I was watching it, and it was terrible. And from now on, I hope those bulls, when they get loose, ram those cowboys right so hard and launch them into another area code of Texas.
Right.
Leave these animals alone.
The Animal Strike Back.
Animal Strike Back. There's our new movie. This is me. There it is. Jeff's got Animal Strike Back. Rodeo goes rogue. Rodeo goes rogue.
I'll go first track tonight.
Start working on that, Jeff. I'll get the funding from PETA. I'll call PETA. What's the phone number? 1-800-PETA? I'm gonna call some freak at PETA that's eating some grass straw for lunch, and I'll ask them if they are wearing some kind of faux coat right now in the winter. Faux beaver. It's nothing like a faux beaver to keep you warm in the Arctic freeze of Long Island. Hey, give me a temperature gauge. What are we looking at now? You got a reading what the temperature is? Give it to me in Fahrenheit, not Kelvin.
I think we're down in 20s.
I think is it less or you think it's in the 20s?
I think it's in the 20s, low 20s.
Low 20s.
According to Google, it is 28 degrees Fahrenheit on Long Island.
28 degrees Fahrenheit on Long Island. Okay. So that is very cold.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
With the last 10 minutes, they're doing the Amy Winehouse movie.
I want to see that.
Yes, I don't know how close they are, or if it's in the works. I don't think it's done.
It's already done, isn't it?
Is it? Okay, it could be. It's called Back to Black, which is her album, and it's being played by Marissa Abuela. I don't know the actress is playing Amy Winehouse in Back to Black. I like Amy Winehouse, and I was so as disappointed as I was in the Diane Nyad story, but I'm not a big fan of her, so it really was irrelevant to me. What's one of your... Now, I also see here Selena Gomez. So, the great Selena Gomez. Now, she's big. She's got millions of followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Jeff, nothing says greatness like followers on Instagram.
Yeah, okay.
And just to prove you that, you can see how many I have.
Yeah.
For those of you that have missed that, it's Stephen R. Kaminsky. I know maybe many of you have forgotten the R. So I'm sure that'll, once they put the R in, my followers go skyrocketing. But Selena Gomez will be playing, guess who? Guess which rock star from the 70s and 80s will be featured by a biopic played by Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez?
And it's a rock star.
Who the hell would she play?
Now, I guess it's rock, country rock, country rockish. I think you'd put her in, but yeah, I think that's hard to categorize her as just rock or definitely not just country.
Selena Gomez. I can't imagine who she would be playing.
Linda Ronstadt.
Oh, for God's sake, why?
Thank you, Jeff.
Why do we need to believe that Linda Ronstadt?
I love Linda Ronstadt.
Stop it. No, you don't.
I think
it's
that's
not possible.
no, I do. It actually is possible.
No one loves Linda Ronstadt.
I think I do. I like Linda. She's got a couple of good. I like her. I love when she was with the Stone Ponies. The Stone Ponies. I mean, I don't know. She's a good voice, good singer. Anyway,
Yeah.
they'll be playing. So Selena Gomez will be playing. I like any biopic. But it made me think of some others. Now, what is your favorite? Do you have a favorite biopic that you thought really nailed it and was so good?
Any biopic about John Lennon?
Was there a biopic about John Lennon?
John. They did that movie, John Lennon and Imagine.
I never saw it.
It's you have to watch it.
Who played John Lennon?
John Lennon. It's a real.
Oh no! I'm talking about
Not big on.
I'm talking about a movie, like not a documentary or.
Those kind of biopics where different actors playing
Yes.
the real person.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of those. I like the real ones.
I love those, especially. I'll give you a couple that I like. Well, there's a couple. I mean, let's see. I'll give you. Well, I liked Rudy, played by Sean Astin.
Rudy was a real person?
Of course, Rudy Rudiger. That's a real life story.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah. Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash movie with Joaquin Phoenix. Goodfellas, the Henry Hill story. You know, well, I mean,
Is that a biopic?
it probably shouldn't be, but it's centered around Henry Hill. You're right. That's really not a biopic. Let me give you something. How about Wolf of Wall Street, the Jordan Belfort story played by Leo DiCaprio?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, come on. You haven't seen that?
I'm not a big DiCaprio fan.
But he's actually done a lot of biopics. He did another one I really enjoyed. He was terrible. He wasn't. The movie was bad. Aviator, the Howard Hughes story. That was not good, but he was very good in Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks, where he played Frank Abagnale, the kind of con guy that wrote fake checks at the age of like 17, and he pretended to be an airline pilot, a lawyer. It was a true story. That was good. Hacksaw Ridge.
That's a biopic?
Yeah, that's a true story. Andrew Garfield played the life of.
Really?
Yeah, he played the life of Desmond Doss, who was a Seventh-day Adventist and didn't want to fight in the war. Which really, it's not a reboot, but it reminded me of Sergeant York, played by Gary Cooper, who was
the one with Clint Eastwood? Hacksaw Ridge? No.
Yeah, I think Clint directed it, right? Clint's not in it, but I think he was something associated with it.
I'm thinking about something else.
Oh, you're thinking about something. Yes, I know what you're thinking about. You're thinking about that was an 80s, 90s movie. I know what you're thinking about. And it was called something Ridge. What about Oppenheimer it's not a biopic, it's more the story of that, making that bomb. It's not his life, per se. Selena, I liked, played by J-Lo. Selena's very good. Good music, I liked her. He played himself for Private Parts, Howard Stern played himself, but I thought that was...
Oh, okay.
I was, because you got to learn about his life, and how he became.
Alright, so yeah, I like that. I was in that.
What?
Well, actually, I was there.
You were there in the making of the movie?
I was in 2 scenes of that movie.
That's fantastic. Were you in the tub scene with the girl?
I wish. That would have been great.
Jeff, you gotta get a better agent. You gotta get a better agent.
I know. I have to fire this guy.
You gotta fire this guy. Let me rep you.
You know, at the end of that movie,
Yes.
when they're in Bryant Park,
Yes.
where ACDC is playing, I'm in the crowd.
Oh, that's fantastic. Can you pick it out if you watch the movie?
I haven't tried in a long time. I'm about 6 rows back from the stage.
That's fantastic. It was really AC/DC, right?
It was really ACDC.
So what,
they finished shooting ACDC, did like a 3-song set.
Oh, that's awesome. So they were there for the filming, but they did some music for the crowd.
Yes.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And of course, one of my favorite biopics, The True Life Story of Barbie.
You know what? There was a movie a while ago with Russell Crowe where he played the guy who blew the whistle on all the tobacco companies.
Oh, I don't know that.
I can't think of the name of it, but now I'm thinking about biopic. Maybe this one qualifies. It was really good, and I can't think of the freaking name of it.
Speaking of Russell Crowe, and I'm glad you brought him up, he was in 2 really good biopics. Cinderella Man, who plays the true life story of boxer James J. Braddock, and, which was really good, and he won an Academy Award for A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah. The Insider.
The Insider, very good. Yes.
Maybe you consider that a biopic, but the guy who blew the whistle on the tobacco companies.
Yeah, that's got some biopic in it. There was another great movie that my mom introduced me to. Somebody Up There Likes Me, played by Paul Newman. So this was an old movie. This was Paul Newman's first movie. It was you would like it. It was the true story of Rocky Graziano, the boxer, and how he grew up in the tough streets. Father beat him, and he met this girl played by Angelique Pierre, who's a great actress in the 50s. Angelique Pierre, excuse me. I thought Jamie Foxx did a good job as playing Ray Charles.
That was actually really good.
That was good, right?
Now I do like biopics.
Yeah, there's some good ones. You might not like this, but I liked Robert Downey Jr. as Charlie Chaplin.
That was extraordinarily good.
Right? That was a really good one.
And Ben Kingsley as Gandhi.
Ben Kingsley as Gandhi was great. I thought Al Pacino as Serpico.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, classic. That's a good one. I mean, Raging Bull, you might have seen or no? Jake LaMotta's story, played by De Niro.
You know what? Horribly, I've not seen Raging Bull.
Yeah, that was good. Sean Penn played Harvey Milk. He won an Oscar. That was pretty good.
Colin Firth as King George and the King's Speech.
Yes, was great. So these are, so you like, I was looking for a Martin Luther King one since today's Martin Luther King Day, because obviously Denzel did a great job playing Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And I thought, but there's Selma, but that's not really a Martin Luther King movie. It is obviously, but it's just about the march. It's not.
There's got to be an MLK biopic.
I looked. There's a documentary called "I Am ML King Jr.," but it's a documentary with him in it. So it's nobody playing him except for.
Really? How did nobody play King in a movie?
They have, but it's been all kind of contemporary, like more Selma or more about a certain event. The bus riots or something like that. It wasn't really his life as a boy growing up. I would be interested in that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, Hollywood.
There is. You saw Social Network with Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg.
I didn't.
Oh, it's well, Jesse Eisenberg plays Mark Zuckerberg, and I just don't like Jesse Eisenberg. He's very dislikable to me as an actor.
I can't watch him.
Yeah, he's so grating on me. He always acts the same way. I just don't like him. I said Sergeant York. October Sky, an early Jake Gyllenhaal movie, was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis as Lincoln.
Daniel Day-Lewis as Lincoln. It was good, but it was long. and I felt like the movie could have been a little better. He was great. I think they could have cleaned that up a little bit. And yeah, I feel like there was a lot of draggy parts. You could have edited that a lot better.
I think so.
You know, Jeff is a very good editor. I gave him my, reel of the Steve Square show, and look, you can't edit Steve Square. He just goes off. And I was going to send it as an audition reel, and Jeff said, I don't think 7 hours of Steve Square is really good. You need to. I said, Jeff, you don't understand. This is gold. People are going to want to sit and watch this for 7 hours and then hire me. He said, listen to me. Trust me. You need to shave off 6 hours and 55 minutes off this.
Yeah, a little long.
2.5 minutes tops. And I said, Jeff, I don't know. But he knows. So sometimes you have to bow down. You have to
trust your editor, Steve.
Trust your editor, which Oppenheimer didn't do, Titanic didn't do, Lincoln didn't do, and many other movies have not done.
Oh, I'm going to go watch Killers of the Flower Moon. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Well, you have a spare week? Well, you better do that when you're on vacation from work. Do that when you're on vacation for a week, then you can watch Killers of the Flower Moon. That's another 9-hour bio mess. Those are a lot of my favorites.
And JFK, I thought about the Kevin Costner.
That was pretty good. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that one, but isn't that more just about the specific event? It's not really about his life. So I don't know if I'd say that's a biopic per se. I really want to learn how someone got to who they became, or what made them famous. Not these. I think for him that was just the trial, like that real investigation.
Okay, then how about Eddie Redmayne as Steve Hawking?
That's a great one. That's called, what was that one called?
Theory of Everything.
The Theory of Everything, absolutely. He won an Oscar for that. Kirk Douglas played Picasso, I think, or who's the guy that cut his ear off? The artist. Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Yes, he played Van Gogh. Which is always something I was thinking of doing whenever I get frustrated, is cutting off a body part. And I'll tell you what I'll leave you with. As we're at 7:34, I watched Society in the Snow on Netflix, which was the story of the Andes crash, the Uruguayan soccer team that crashed in the mountains. Now you talk about cold. This is summer to them. They were stuck in the mountains of the Andes, crashed in a plane. Obviously no clothing, injured, no food. And they were stuck there for like 45 days until 2 of them walked out of the mountains for 10 days and basically walked to Chile, which is fantastic cardio, by the way. What a walk. But it was the movie was good, but I like the other one, Miracle in the Andes, with Ethan Hawke, was a lot better. This was a little bit, again, they trying to redo a movie that was done already. And they made a big deal about it. It was done, and it was done well. Why do it again? And, and it was, that they had to, make that fatal decision of eating the dead. And, because they had no food. Now, let me tell you something. You know my diet. I'm very particular.
I
don't know. I'm just thinking, look, there's probably not going to be a lot of Celsius in the mountains where I'd be. Not a lot of whey protein shakes. No oranges. I'm going to have a problem here. Do I start gnawing on somebody's arm, including my own? One of the best scenes in The Simpsons, I think about Family Guy, he gets trapped and he starts eating his own arm. And he was only trapped and he had been 10 minutes. It wasn't even 10 minutes, he goes, I'm sorry to death. And he starts eating his own arm. And they go, what are you doing? We're only eating for 10 minutes. He goes, I'm starving. So funny. So hilarious. All right, we're going over. It's 7:36. I'm going to close it out. Jeff, great. Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Yes, really complicated.
Yes, I will talk to you. We'll talk Emmys, and we'll see who's big on the carpet tonight.
Will do.
All right, bud. I'll talk to you later.
See you later.
Thanks, Jeff. Hey, that was Jeff calling in, giving us some movie talk. We like to talk that. It's 7:36. I'm over. I told you I was thinking of going all night, but I'll close it out now. For myself, of course, for Hermit. For Count Squarula. Oh, thank you. I'd love to come back. Next time, keep me on more. I will try to keep you on more. No worries. You know, you made a guest appearance. Leave them wanting more. Anyway. And of course, for Dumbbells, which that should be winning an Emmy tonight. And it will win an Emmy one day, I promise you this. For everyone associated with the show, check us out next Monday. We'll be back in the studio at 6:30 on Govs Radio, on your YouTube and Facebook channels. Also, go on to the Instagram, Stephen R. Kaminsky. I'll be posting some funny clips, bits, and tricks for all of you. Maybe I'll try some ventriloquist linguistics, work on my ventriloquism. I think you should get that move. All right. Enough of him. Stay warm out there, huh? And please, don't forget to caucus. Caucus yourself. Fix your caucus. Have a great, warm week. And, there might be a difference in this mop next week. You might be seeing something else. Because, we just might have something in store for you. Anyway, have a great, safe, warm week. We'll see you next Monday on the Steve Square Show.